So this is my Blue Eyes White Dragon deck profile. I absolutely love this deck. It's very, very consistent. So first off, two Blue Eyes White Dragons. I love the Secret Rare version. And this is the very first Yu-Gi-Oh card I've ever gotten in my life. So yeah, it's very cool to be playing Blue Eyes White Dragon once again. I run 3 alternatives. You need 3. I love this card. It makes this deck so much more better. Next, 2 Dragon Spirit of Whites. This thing is pretty much an MST that vanishes when it hits the field. It's probably one of the most abusable cards in this entire deck.
It's basically Cosmic Cyclone before Cosmic Cyclone.
Yeah. It can also tag out, so if it's targeted or anything, you have a regular Blue Eyes White Dragon in your hand.
As long as your opponent controls a monster, you
yeah.
can switch it out. Tell them, no.
Next, 3 Sage Knight. This card is probably one of my favorite normal summons in the entire game. Basically searches out almost all of your other normal summons in the entire deck. So, very powerful.
Also get the broken first turn crystal and play with it.
Next, 3 Maiden. When Maiden is targeted by an effect or attacked, special summon a Blue Eyes from literally anywhere, hand, deck, or graveyard. So again, one of the best cards. She works very well with Sage Knight because Sage Knight can target her, and you can special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon, and then special summon a Blue Eyes monster. Then 2 Ancient Stones. 3 Ancient Stones, yeah. When this card leaves the field, special summon a Blue Eyes card from your deck. So yeah, that's pretty much what I use it for. I also use it to bring back Alternative or Blue Eyes White Dragon back to my hand. And it's so often that I get this card in the graveyard along with a Blue Eyes card that this card is always useful almost no matter what in this deck.
And it stacks too. So if you have 2 sent in one turn, you bring out 2 Blue Eyes and end phase.
You have 2 cards face down, bring out 2 Dragon Spirit of Whites. I love doing that.
People cry.
I play 3 of the Field card and 2 Terraform to search it out. The Field card is probably one of the best cards in this build of the deck. You summon Sage Knight, you can search out anything and then normal summon once again. It also works very well with 3 Were Arthdaus. This engine, I know a lot of people don't like it because Were Arthdaus, if you control a level 1, you can search out a level 1 and bring it to your hand, but you take 2,000 at the end phase.
If you don't normal summon.
If you don't normal summon it.
Or summon it, just summon it.
Normal summon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with Light Mausoleum, you can normal summon again. So Sage Knight in this card is so powerful. And even when you control a Maiden, normal summon a Maiden, you can use this card to target it to send a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand, deck, or graveyard. No, a normal monster. So including Dragon Spirit of White if it's in your hand, and it'll gain 800. And you can go to lots of synchro plays. Next, for my revival cards, I run 3 Return of Dragon Lords. This is probably the only card that I would consider broken in Blue Eyes White Dragon or any dragon deck. Simply because not only does it revive, it also protects, and it's not once per turn. That makes it super strong in this deck. Also, I run 2 Silver Scry. For Dragon Spirit of White, again, it's an MST that vanishes when it hits the field. So if this card is set and your opponent has a set card by the time they end their turn, activate it and banish it almost immediately. So it's a plus no matter what. And then I also run 1 Soul Charge because you can literally stop your opponent from playing the game. If you bring out 1 Spirit Dragon, you can go into Crystal Wing really easily as well.
And a Hope Harbinger.
And a Hope Harbinger as well. It's so broken in this deck. I absolutely love the card.
Plus Return of the Dragon Lord, nobody thinks about it, but can bring back Crystal Wing.
Exactly. You can even, what I did, I Xyz'd Galaxy Eye with Crystal Wing and Blue Eyes, detached Crystal Wing, activated Return, got my Crystal Wing right back. It's such a great combo. I run 3 Twin Twister because fuck back row. Next, 3 Traded because we have 3, 6, 8 targets. Yeah, 8 targets. 3 alternative, Blue Eyes White Dragon, Dragon Spirit. 8 targets, so. Next, for some searches. I only run 2 because with this deck, I'm constantly getting Blue Eyes White Dragon out, and with this build, I find this card to be dead sometimes because I just don't have even 1 target. So again, you don't need 3 of these cards, at least not with my build, and 1 for 1 because again, we have a ton of targets. Now for my very actually expensive extra deck, which is, I love this extra deck. My favorite card probably in Yu-Gi-Oh!
3 Spirit.
3 Spirit of White. I absolutely love this card. It could pretty much flow out to special summon a synchro monster from your extra deck that's a light dragon type in defense mode, but it's destroyed at the end phase. However, if you go into this guy, which is one of its targets, it can't be destroyed by card effects. So at the end phase, this card will stay up, and
in your standby phase, you get a blue eyes.
yeah, and it also protects all of your dragons.
Yeah.
I love this combo. This is one of my main combos of the deck, but you can also go into Michael and Moonlight. Again, Michael, you can activate this to pay 1,000 to banish one card on the field, including spells and traps. And this guy, you can return a, was it level 5 or higher?
Level 5 or higher.
Monster
On
summon.
summon.
Yeah.
Special.
So pretty much I use this if my opponent brought out a big monster and it's their turn. I can activate his effect to go into this and just return it. Pretty much getting rid of a huge problem very quickly. One Crystal Wing, you can synchro with one of the level 1 tuners with either Michael or Moonlight to bring this guy out. He's very easy to get out, and he's very, very helpful for protecting your monsters. Next is the card. I know a lot of people don't like this card and don't like running it at all, but I do play one Blue Eyes Twin Burst. This card is extremely situational. I know you want to say
It's a
something.
cool
It makes
card.
Cosmo cry sometimes.
It's a cool card. I like it.
When your opponent has a card that can't be targeted or destroyed by battle, like
It's your only out
wheels,
to planet other than crystal.
exactly. Just banish it. Just attack into it, and it gets banished. There are a lot of great cards out there, but I just love this thing. I didn't really use it that often, I have to admit. but-
Contact fusion, right for it?
Yep, you don't need polymerization
Nice.
at all. Next, for a Galaxy build, I run these 3. I don't have the other one. What's the other one called?
Tachyon.
Tachyon. If you have Tachyon, please replace it with this card. I use this guy because he gets to pop one card on the field. I mean, to me, it's a face up, yeah. It's a great card, in my opinion. It really clears boards. And if your opponent has one monster, you can just pop it and then go into this guy. Basically, you can ditch 3 dragon types with 3 different names from your deck, and your opponent has to banish 3 monsters from this deck. I use him if I know my opponent is running a lot of hand traps in their deck, because that's usually the things they ban because they don't want to screw up their builds, basically. But he pretty much gets rid of hand traps. Every time I used them, all I saw was max season effect failures that were banished. One Harbinger because he negates spells, and again, so many times my opponent will not activate a Regeki or a Dark Hole because I have this guy on the field.
Even against pendulums.
Even against
School
Pendulum.
plus that's good.
And for our last card, I run him because he can attack your opponent directly for 2k. So if you know you can go for game, definitely you get him out. He's really, really good. On top of the fact that he can attack directly, and if he does battle damage, pop a card. But he can also negate the first effect that's activated. It's not really a choice, which kind of sucks. But if you activate this guy and then go into battle phase, attack directly and end your turn, he negates the first thing your opponent activates. And a lot of times your opponent really never reads this card. You just attack her directly and they just assume that's its whole effect. But yeah, I actually do like this card. And that's it for my Blue Eyes deck profile. I do a lot of work. I go head to head with Cosmos, Monarchs, with a lot of great builds. My YouTube channel, if you guys like Resident Evil 7 stuff, my YouTube channel is xcodfan543. The X in CODFan means I don't play Call of Duty anymore. I used to. I have to
Make it next week, right, bro?
You just
But-
passed 1,000
Yeah,
subs, dude.
I just hit 1,000 subscribers on my channel,
amazing.
so
Wow.
if you like Resident Evil, thank you, I appreciate it.
And all the YouTubers on the road.
So if you guys like Resident Evil, Metal Gear, all the other games and stuff like that,
I'll put the link in the
definitely check out my
description.
channel. I appreciate it.
That's it for this video, guys. If you want to see John's YouTube channel, don't forget to check out the description down below. The next video is going to be Mike's deck profile of his Magispector Metal Foes, so if you want to see that, don't forget to follow me on Twitter or like my Facebook page. Links to those are also in the description down below. Also, don't forget to click subscribe because it's free, it's fun, and I'll see you guys in the next one.